Okay, next we have Be So Kind, which is only really comprised of a total of, I think, 3 different parts, of not just parts to the song, but parts physically to play. The main chord progression is based on 2 chords. First, you have to drop the E strings down to D. And what this does is it gives the guitar a chimey, kind of droning 12-string birdsy sound. So it starts out with the first chord, which is basically the first. Take your first 2 fingers, the archer fingers, and put them on the 2nd fret of the A and D string, putting your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. That's the chord right there, and it's very simple. We start out on that on the pickup. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you basically just let go of your first 2 fingers on the 2nd fret, and then put your I use my first finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. So it's basically like you're fingering the D string. I'm sorry, you're fingering the D chord, but you're not, since the D is the E string, it's open, you don't need to do it. So I'm giving you the finger right now, just to show that you basically go like this. Very simple. And again, I know I over-explain this stuff in the notes, but it's so easy once you see how to do it. I don't know if you can see from the way this is coming out on film. That's the beginning, and that's basically the basis of the whole song. And then we go to it's between the 10th and the 12th frets on the B and E string. Sorry, that's the 9th fret there. That's going to figure in later. Those be so kind. But it just goes once in the very beginning as that little breakdown happens. And then I do the and then don't forget the sound. Don't forget the sound. Don't forget the sound goes down under the and B, and then it goes in B. So kind. Be so kind. Bacco. Then we get into the last part of the song, where it really kicks in. This is I call it the main heavy riff in the notes. Open low D string. You're only going to use the low 3 strings, and the D string you're only going to use once for that last note. It goes like this. I can't get away from you now. Can't get away from what I thought that you said. Can't get away from you now. Can't get away from what I thought that you said. That's it. It goes that way. I forget how I counted it out on the sheet, but I think it's 8. I forget how many cycles. At some point, someone's going to chime in with the basically just playing the octaves on the E string tuned down to D and the actual D string. I usually play that part because I sing that vocal part, and it's a lot easier to sing and play those two parts at the same time than it is the main riff. And that goes on. Again, I don't have the sheet in front of me, but I wrote it out. Then that figures back in. So now we basically just have all three of those parts happening at the same time. And when it switches to basically being 3/4 time, the main heavy riff is truncated. It's kind of abbreviated, so it just goes 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Oops. And the last time I've done this just manually, turning it up on the volume knob on the guitar. Maybe someone can do that on their guitar. It's a little tricky. I've done it, but it's a little tricky. That is basically it. And I think the explanation of the song is 3 times longer than the song itself. A lot easier to see this happen in person. Again, I know these are probably the craziest songs structurally that we're doing. Everything else is much more straightforward, so don't be freaked out. All right.